officials was indeed classified. Jeffrey Goldberg on NBC's Meet the Press refuting claims from National Security Advisor Michael Waltz that he and Goldberg never met and didn't have his contact information.
This has become a somewhat farcical situation. There's no subterfuge here. My number was in his phone. He mistakenly added me to the group chat. There we go.
The group chat discussed U.S. bombings on Houthi rebels in Yemen. White House officials insist no classified information was shared in that text chain. Southeast Asia, including India, Thailand, and China, are trying to recover from a massive earthquake. Fox's Stephanie Bennett reports.
The earthquake's epicenter was just outside of Mandalay, which is home to about 1.5 million people, many of which spent the night sleeping outside in the streets because their homes have been destroyed and also because of the fear of aftershocks. Now, of course, this happened 2 days ago. The 7.7 earthquake struck. Buildings have been toppled, and critical infrastructure like the city's airport has also been damaged. In hospitals, they're struggling to cope. Relief efforts have been hampered by broken roads, spotty communications, and, of course, challenges of operating in a country in the midst of a civil war. Now, earlier today, another aftershock was reported, this time with a 5.1 magnitude.
Foreign rescue teams and supplies have begun to arrive. Russian drones hit a military hospital, shopping center, and apartment blocks in Ukraine's second largest city of Kharkiv. 2 people were killed and dozens were wounded. Ukraine's Air Force reported Russia fired 111 exploding drones and decoys. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, this is Lauren Green, host of the Lighthouse Faith podcast. I recently sat down with Charles Payne to talk about his new special, A Matter of Faith.
You want to kind of do the right thing as much as possible and help everyone as much as possible. But there's certain rules when it comes to the stock market. You have to be profitable a certain period of times, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And there are other things out of their control. So it's easier as a private company than a publicly traded company.
Look out for Lighthouse Faith on your favorite podcast platform, or just ask Alexa to play Lighthouse Faith Podcast.
Wildfires in the Carolinas continue to rage as hundreds are evacuated from their homes. The Fox Business Network's Madison Scarpino reports.
Both North and South Carolina are still under statewide burn bans. Hurricane Helene knocked down millions of trees in the region 6 months ago. As you can imagine, there's still a ton of damage, and this is making things very difficult for firefighters. This could be an issue for several years in the Carolinas, where tens of thousands of acres have already been scorched. Over the last week, the South Carolina Forestry Commission worked 26 fire-related incidents. 3 of the fires are still burning. That includes the Covington Drive fire, which started near Myrtle Beach and has been active for weeks.
The South Carolina Forestry Commission noting that timber from Hurricane Helene is a major threat for fire growth. Now that her nomination as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations has been pulled, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik says there is another priority to which she must attend. Fox's Gurnell Scott has a story.
Congresswoman Stefanik says every Republican vote in a slim majority is needed to get a reconciliation bill across the finish line. On Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, Stefanik said she is ready to cast a vote.
To deliver the key parts of the president's agenda, again, securing the border, unleashing American energy independence, booming the economy through historic tax cuts.
But her team-first approach did mean giving up a significant appointment from the president.
I was proud to be the nominee for the United Nations. It is so important that we step up as a team in so many ways.
Stefanik chaired the House GOP conference before her nomination to be UN ambassador. Gurnall Scott, Fox News.
Actor Richard Chamberlain has died in Hawaii at the age of 90 following complications from a stroke. I'm Deborah Valentine. This is Fox News.
On the latest episode of the Fox Nation Investigates podcast, Evil Next Door, female serial killer Eileen Wuornos, a Florida-bound hitchhiking prostitute, rose to infamy after killing 7 men. Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Good morning, Marianas. It's Monday morning. Good morning, baby. We're back at it. You're looking outside Dad's Olei. And we are, unless you have any questions, we are on air right now. It is Monday. We're getting ready to start this week and get it fired up. Let's go, baby. All right, hey, here we go. It is Monday morning. You're looking live at traffic. That's Beach Road in Olei. What's going on? Are there painted lines on the road? Yes, the folks from GPPC have been out there painting and getting it ready. They're still about a lane shy of being perfect, but they're getting closer. There's a lot getting done. GPP, one of the P's has to stand for painting now. So they're getting it done. So congrats on me. Hey, I give them a lot of hard time about not getting stuff done, but I got to give it to them. Stuff is happening, and can't wait till it's done. Anyway, guys, we got a great show lined up for you today, and before we get too crazy, we're going to get you the traffic of what's going on. The traffic of what's going on. Yeah, that's it. That is a perfectly phrased sentence. But we are going to get you all caught up with what's going on with traffic, aside from what we're looking at right now. I want to say good morning to everybody, and thanks for tuning in. Good morning, Lou. Great to see you. Patrick Lazama. Good morning. Carm Pangilinan. Good morning. Great to see you. Ohio gozaimasu, Marcia. Great to see you as well. Luisa, my new Keurig buddy. Great to see you this morning. Stop by if you got time. Mark Lasua, hey, good morning. Great to see you guys. Eric Mofness, my brother, great seeing you as well. Thanks for tuning in today. And John William, Lesson YMY, good morning. Holy cow, Tarian, thank you for tuning in this morning. Great to see you as well. All right, well, we're all lined up and ready to go today, and we're going to get you a little look at traffic so you know what's going on. If you're on the roads right now, you want to probably have a good idea of where you should go or where you shouldn't go when it comes to traffic, and we're going to bring that to you right now as soon as I pull it up for you. I want to get you Google Maps. That's what we're looking at right now. Wapal. And, man, this is what we got right now. You saw what the traffic looks like. Here, I'll give you the other little screen in the background. So it's not that bad. Things are moving along. That's what this yellow mark looks like over here on Beach Road. The intersection at the old AK is looking pretty clean. My goodness. What a difference a weekend makes with the traffic. Anyway, it's a little bit slow when you're passing by Napa, but it's not that bad. Let's keep going down Beach Road, though. It is starting to linger a little bit slower the further you get past us. That yellow line right there, that's everything past Downtown Market, and it's exactly what you see in the top right corner of your screen. It is slow because that's where you go from the 2 lanes down to 1 lane. It has nothing to do with the green wave. But it does slow down a little bit. The rest of Beach Road looking mighty good. It slows down a little bit, but not until you get to Susupi. When you get over there by where Susupi and CK get into a fight to determine where's the border. It's right there by Mount Carmel School. Folks are starting to get a little bit slow over there. Over there at the intersection by the post office, by where Tune Joaquin Doi meets Beach Road, it's a little bit slow too. And remember, drive slow through the village. You don't really have much of a choice, but you don't want to be that guy zipping through the village. Anyway, things looking really good over there in Chalumpiao, over by Hopwood. Not bad at all. A little bit slow when you get past Texas Road, but that's not too bad. How about over there at our that's not too bad either, actually. Just a little, some folks waiting at the light. Tomorrow, this is going to be a busy stretch, but right now, not too bad. Over there by Aslito Drive, that's where people are waiting to drop off their kids over at Saipan International School, so it's a little slow. Over there by Tuamaquin-Doi, folks coming up the hill, and folks going north with FNF over there by Happy Market, a little bit slow as people try to get into that middle lane. And as they try to get toward the Shell Dandan gas station, a little bit slow. It doesn't even get to that little creep road that takes you to Joten, but it's still, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Everything else over there by that light's not too bad. Let's take a look over at Issa Drive, all the way back, not too bad. Over the folks trying to get out of Dandan and get through the old roundabout area in San Vicente, it's a little bit slow as kids and their parents make their way to the home of the Canaries at San Vicente Elementary School. I know that road well. Used to live over there back in Sodelor times. I don't know, that's a long time ago, right? The rest of the back road looks good. The road into Cagman's even looking mighty clear. And the Rodeo Drive, the shopping district of Capitol Hill, is actually looking pretty good too. That's right, there's no big delay over by all the stores, which usually at this time there are at Sarah Market, Capitol Hill Market, and Zenu. Well, right now it is clear sailing all the way through. John Polly Arnold, that's right. Middle Road at Issa Drive looking pretty good. And Middle Road through Puerto Rico is looking good too. Where it starts to slow down though is when you get to the intersection by the tennis courts at American Memorial Park. If you were like me and got past there early this morning, that's a problema. But right now it is a little bit slow, especially if you're trying to go east or west. And just a little bit for people going north, but nothing really to worry about. Over there by 99 cents, it's a little slow too. When you get by the Mija area, it's going to be slow down a little bit. And by JG Water and the Sodelor Laundry, that is slow, really. It's going to take you past by the cavalcade of multicolored rental cars on Middle Road, just north of Shirley's, all the way down. You just keep on going to the mobile station. It's still going to be slow all the way through. And then again, when you get over there by the Torres building, where you get by the museum, it's slow making its way up there as traffic. They still haven't figured that thing out. There's still one lane down over there, and it's not fun for anyone who's driving around. We're just going to keep scrolling down the road here. Middle Road, it's a little stop and go, a little slow when you get past the 670 Rock Steady Shop, and over there by Kiki's Women's Clothing Store. Wow, great name. All right, hey, how about Brabu Pharmacy? Everyone going south from there, it's a little bit slow. When you get past Gualarai, you get to that intersection by the courthouse, it's slow again. But you're going to pick up by the time you get, you're going to pick up until you get to Quartermaster, and then it's going to be a little bit slow again. As you head down all the way to the intersection that matters with the folks who say connections matter. Over there at I-T&E, where the CMG meets Middle Road, it is, again, your home for congestion. That's right. You can get something to help you with your congestion over at PHI Pharmacy. They've got 3 locations in Saipan at Dandan, Cagman, and where else? Where's the other one? Carapan. That's right. They're all over the place. And they've got great discounts for you, especially if you've got a gym membership and you want to get yourself some supplements. You are going to get a discount there. That's it. It's great. You got to love it. Say hi to Josh when you go in there, too. You know who else is there? The Amish Assassin. Yes, Eli Agaba. He's a pill pusher over there. No, like in a good way. In a good way. Don't worry. All right. Hey, now, all that time that we went all around the island, let's take a real quick look. This is that one stretch of road that you're seeing on the upper right corner of your screen as traffic is starting to push up past the mayor's office now as those 2 lanes become one. I just saw that one guy. He's creeping on the right lane all the way up to force his way in. Man, nobody likes that guy. Oh, there's another guy like that. You can see him. We got a great vantage point here where we can see the cars moving. Folks coming around, trying to get in that other lane and force their way in. Oh, man, no one likes that guy, right? Oh, no, but I'm going to get there faster. No, it's not the best. Don't be that guy. All right. Well, hey, we are so happy to have you guys with us today. We've got a lot that we're going to get to. And here, maybe we'll give you a little bit of this. Pow. Good morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We certainly did. And it got started off wild on Friday night when we were covering the interscholastic basketball championships for the high schools out here. So we'll give you a little recap on this. They had a tournament that started midweek, and they had everybody out here, all of them, Tinian, Rhoda, public, private. They were there. They were in this tournament, and what a great one it was. Then they had all the seedings, and it was a double elimination tournament. So if you lose, you get knocked down to the loser's bracket, and then if you lose again, you're out. But if you can make it through the winner's bracket all the way, then if you make it to the finals, then that team's got to beat you twice. So what happened was MHS made their way through the whole tournament without losing. They made their way through the whole season without losing, but they made their way through the tournament without losing. They got to the finals. Friday night, they had to play against Southern. Now, Southern got to the finals through the loser's bracket. They played a game an hour before their finals game with MHS. Yeah, they had to beat Cagman just to get into that finals. They got an hour rest, and then they were back at it again. So, you know, there's no chance they're going to win because they're tired. But no, they won. They beat MHS, and they forced another game. So the second game was now everybody had to come back to the added gym at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Wow, what a game that was. So Southern came out and roared to a 9-1 lead early in the first half. And then MHS just went ham. And the Dolphins went on a 21-point run. They were up 22-9 before Southern scored another point. I mean, it was crazy. So now you're like, all right, yeah, they're killing them, right? No. The game went down to the wire. They scored, they brought it within 2 with a second left on the clock, and MHS was able to inbound and run it out, and that was it. What a game. That is their 3rd championship in a row. In a row. I mean, it was great. The team was great. They were really happy, of course, because they won the championship. But it was outstanding. You know, I could show you. This is what we were looking at. If you missed it, here, let's bring it to here toward the end of the game to show you. Oh, that's the awarding ceremony. But it was outstanding. I'm telling you, the action was back and forth between Southern and see that guy in the camera right there. That's Defang, and he scored he drained a 3-pointer. With just 1.5 left. This might be it. I can't see the clock from here, but this might be the inbounds because there's Addy right there who hurt his knee earlier. So I think this is that final exchange. He's going to get it to Defang again. He's going to kick it out, I think. There's Navarro. He's got nothing. He's going for 3. No, he didn't get it. They called a foul. But anyway, it was so great. That guy, by the way, was draining more threes than anybody in the whole tournament. That guy was money from beyond the arc. He was hitting it from the corners. He was hitting it mid-range on the arc, all over the place. Just a great game. And I'm telling you, these boys on both teams played outstanding. It was great to watch. Oh, this is Tabayan going up here. I remember that. And I think that's the one that put it out of reach. Is this where they called the timeout? No, oh yeah, 40 seconds left. So we're just watching the last 40 seconds. Oh, denied by LaQuine. This was such a good game. Then these guys went out and put another one. And I think, the putback by Ye. I remember Coach for Southern was a little upset about that too. But, you know, his team stormed all the way back. And it was a great game. The Dolphins ended up playing great. Here, let's see if I can just forward it past a little bit there. Is that it? We'll see if it gets framed up there for you, but it was outstanding. It was outstanding. I absolutely loved being there. The energy in that gym was crazy. Friday night was really big. You had the student sections were like going nuts, and they had signs. They were taunting each other. It was so funny. I mean, it was hilarious. But the action on Saturday, again, a ton of fans were there also, and they were just roaring, just absolutely roaring out there. Let's see where we're at with this one. Hold on. Denko does not want to come out, but Oh, yeah, I think this was just at the end. And we'll take you through the end of the game here, the last exchange. You saw that fury, that really furious back and forth there.
5-point game. You make both of them. You figure it's
I think, yeah, this is it. This is the last little exchange. So he misses that one. They're going to bring it up to court. Yeah, that's it.
running up the court. All the way by himself in traffic. Makes the basket. 43. It's a 3-point ball game. Tobias got it. Feeds it up ahead. The wide open Sanchez. Who makes the basket? He answers.
All right, so that's when Southern called a timeout, and they end up going through and,
Coach Charlie Peters.
yeah, we're going to get past that. So they end up getting a technical, so they're going to, yeah, that's where they notified him that they got to take a technical. That's not the exciting part here. I'm trying not to jump too far ahead so we can get to that inbounds. 18, 34, how about there? That should do it. All right, so, yeah, that's where they called the technical. All right, so 11:52, about to here. Okay, here we go, 7.4. It's a 5-point game. This is the last two possessions right here. And so that's Helgen. That guy was awesome for Southern. He's guarded by Sanchez, who's all over him. Sanchez was great, too.
And they get the ball to Addy. Addy's going to have to do something fast. Out as the bang. Oh, he nails it. 3-pointer. 1.3 left. Sanchez. And that's the ball game.
What a thrilling finish. What a finish to that game, to that whole tournament. And I'll tell you, the fans were great for both teams. The organizers did an outstanding job. Congrats to all of the folks in the with public school system for putting on this tournament. It was great. There's head coach Dan Wallach. There's Preston Bassa. He's one of the VPs over there at MHS. And you know what was great is that even though it was like a really hotly contested game, fierce competition.
Legassus, what do you think?
There's Legassus, NP, Marianas Press. But, it was clean. There wasn't chippiness, when they play like angry or anything like that. They just played a great game, great sportsmanship. Great basketball. It was really outstanding. And you can see it with these guys, and then afterwards, you can see the respect that the Southern players had for the guys from MHS, because even, they're doing their handshake now, which you do afterwards. But after all the awarding was done and everything, they all came back together, and then they all took a photo for both teams and all that. So it was a great weekend, a great opportunity, a great showcase of our youth sports out here in the Marianas. And again, nothing but the best for all the players, all the coaches, all the volunteers, the parents, the fans. I mean, it really was great. Did I say great enough? Yeah, they did a really great job. All right, let me get back to your comments, though, because I saw a whole bunch of stuff happening in there. I want to say good morning to everyone else who popped in who I didn't see earlier. Ignacio, great to see you. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Jermel, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Great to see you. Arlene, good morning. Thank you. It's great to see you. Gus, Lesser Mwamwai, great to see you, my brother. Patrick, saw you already. This is great. I see this in there. And you're not the first person, John, to say this. He said, you need to cover the Little League games going on at Tongay, too. Yeah, I know. So it's a little bit tougher. I don't want to give you excuses. But I got to tell you, it is tougher to cover it. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it like the Tonco games. Because the games that are over there at Tonco, there's a lot more room inside that press box, right? We've got more rooms for cameras. You got more rooms for more space for the computer gear and all that other stuff. So like this basketball thing that we covered wasn't anything other than me running and gunning. I had the camera on a tripod I had a microphone attached to the outside for the crowd noise. I had a microphone attached to me, and I was actually moving the camera on the tripod back and forth, right? So that's that. Baseball's a little bit harder and to do that, and all that stuff. If you've been to the Little League games, and I'm sure you have, there's a lot of hustle and bustle inside that little press box that they've got. Ooh, what's this? There's a lot of hustle and bustle inside that little press box. A lot of people asking questions, what's going on. They're doing pitch counts. You name it, they're doing all that stuff. And there's not even like another seat available in there for me to get in there. So it would be difficult to do it. I haven't figured out how to cover a game at Ton Gay, and that's probably why it's not happened yet. Maybe there's a way to do it, but I just don't know it yet. So, it's not impossible. We might be able to figure it out. I have an idea. It's not perfect yet, but I have an idea. And if we do it, I think it's going to be a lot more announcing and a lot less camera angles. There might just be, for Little League, there might really only be like one camera angle. There's no, don't give me the broken heart stuff. I'm sorry. I'm talking you through the technical stuff. But there might be a way to do it. There's kind of a way, but man, there's so much stuff over there with people moving back and forth. That's why Tonco is better. Now, could we do the results afterwards? Go there, take a little bit of video, maybe a little bit of photos, yeah. But outside of that, I haven't figured out the rest yet. That's it. It's an all-day thing. By the way, Cry Me a River, right? But, I have a family too. I got to spend some time with them. Oh, and there's only one power outlet, says Louisa. Yeah, we would definitely overdo it in there. But at least I hear there's air conditioning now. That was not the case. There was broken plexiglass and no aircon. And that is not a recipe for great computers and stuff. And cameras. So, Barb Wallach, good morning. Hey, your son was a champ. Got to see him yesterday, too. He came out for the soccer game that we had yesterday. He's a part of our team. But yesterday was not his day in the nets. But it was great to see him win his championship. So that was outstanding. Great guy. All right. Oh, I guess that's it for that part, guys. That's it. Hey, good news. We're going to be a little bit later today. We're going to run later because we're going to have some guests in studio from Caridot. I'm excited about that because Carm Ogumoro helped put that together. But, there are other things going on today, and not just today, but in the next few days. But if you look on here on the screen we've got, today there's a proclamation signing over at Crown at Hibiscus Hall for Autism Awareness Month. We got this fishing tournament coming up that I was in last year, and I had a great time with the guys from Turnkey Solutions. There's going to be a big lunar observation going on with Josh Brazell and Ron Smith over at AMP later this month. They still have this bingo fundraiser coming up in a couple of weeks for Joaquin Lizama Jr. And guys, if you have events coming up, things like this, let us know. Send them our way. You can send it right here on the Facebook, or you can also WhatsApp it to us over on the show phone, which is 789-2323, area code 670-789-2323. Again, you can message it to us. You can send it like how the message for the autism awareness, someone sent it to us on Instagram. So you can send it to us a lot of different ways, and we'll get that stuff out there to let people know that it's happening because that's kind of our thing. So that's what we do. All right, guys. So that's what's happening. We got a busy day today with regards to events. In fact, after today, so Caridot's coming in today at 9 o'clock. We're going to keep them here till about 9:30, and then we're going to slide down the back of the dinosaur, get out of here, and head up to Dan because there's a proclamation signing for DCCA's DYS. We're going to be there for that. What else do we got? We're going to be doing all kinds of running around. There's the autism awareness going on later. We got a meeting with someone who's already agreed in principle to be one of the new sponsors on the show, which is awesome. That'll be a little bit later today. And the calendar is full for us today, from like literally from now until we rest our head at night. It's going to be a smoker. Delvin, good morning from Cagman. But I know there are a whole lot of numbers in Cagman. I just don't know which is Cagman 1, 2, 3. And I also heard there's a Cagman 4. That one, I know that's not new, but I heard about it, and I have no idea which one is which. I need a Cagman explanation, someone to walk me through it. Somebody's done it before. I just did not retain the information very well. True story. But I try. Is this one? Yeah, we could do this one too. All right. Hey, so you guys want to start talking about some of the headlines and all that other stuff? Did you feel that earthquake in Tonga? Of course not, because it's so far away. But there was a tsunami warning, not here in the CNMI, but all over the west coast of the Americas, plural. There was a tsunami warning because it was a 7.3. And it was while we were sleeping. Well, maybe I was awake, but it was at 10:19 last night, and it was out in Tonga. And man, I haven't seen anything yet about any damage from Tonga, but we hope everybody's all right. In fact, and this comes on the heels. There was a massive earthquake, by the way, over in Myanmar and in Thailand. Did you guys see any of the footage from that? I could show you some, but it was crushing. I'm looking right now, just trying to see if there's any reports of damage. I'm getting the latest right now. So even within the most recent report that's online right now from Reuters says spokesperson for Tonga's National Disaster Risk Management Office said there's not yet any reports of damage from the outer islands, but it says that that tsunami warning had been canceled already. That window is already passed, so you're fine. But that's it. Nothing about damage. But here, yeah, sure. We'll show you this. Where's the share screen for you? Doom, doom, doom. So it's not like it's right next door to us. That's it right there. So it's far east of Australia and north of New Zealand. Well, northeast of New Zealand. So it's pretty far away from us based on the scale. I mean, it's like it's a few thousand miles away. Right, but it was still pretty big. And it was big enough to where, again, the west coast of the Americas ended up getting a tsunami warning. Not us. Apparently, it doesn't flow this way. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But it was far enough that way. Maybe we're shielded by these little islands over here, by Fiji. So maybe not. Anyhow, we're hoping all the best for everyone there. But I'll tell you what, the footage from Thailand, my goodness, that was just wild. Let's pull that up. Thailand earthquake. Did you see, especially like a lot of buildings moving back and forth. Now this one was a 7.7 earthquake. 7.7. And it was located in Myanmar, but it was Burma. But if you, hold on, there it is. So there's the video footage. Yeah, there are buildings that are joined, like the two like skyscrapers that are joined by a big old walkway between them. That got detached. A building that was under construction just totally collapsed. Let's see if I can show you that one here. Let's get you on. You able to see that? Here. Yeah, this is Dallas.
To Southeast Asia now, where a violent earthquake devastated.
I don't want to show you that one. I'll show you the actual. I don't want to show you the news report. I just want to show you the actual damage. But it raw footage here. Let's do that. Yeah, raw video. Here we go. That's moments after. Watch the earthquake damage. That's CBS News. What's this one? Well, this one looks promising. Yeah, this building that was under construction. And this wasn't the only one. Look at that. Different angles of it. I saw this from that construction site. Can you imagine? And that's in downtown. Like, that's in Bangkok. It's not like in the countryside or one of the smaller cities. Like, that's in the capital. And see, that's water stuff. Those are from the swimming pools that are on the rooftop swimming pools, cascading, water is cascading down the side of the building. Just terrifying if you're actually down there. I can't imagine. I've never been through one quite that severe. We've been through a lot of earthquakes out here, but like that one was just absolutely shocking. Okay, there's the pun. All right. Is that about time? Yeah, I think that we're about time. We're about time for a quick commercial break. It's 7:55 in the morning here, and we are going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. We got to give you a few messages from our folks. By the way, I'm enjoying this nice little protein shake, and I end up getting my supplements from PHI Pharmacy, and by having a gym membership, that means I get an extra discount too. They already have great prices at PHI. They've got everything that you need, whether it's for your medicine, your prescriptions, for your over-the-counter stuff, stuff you need around the house, but also if you're starting to work out and you want to get some supplements for all of that. And again, you get that extra, and you get that extra discount over there. So give them a check, and you can check them out in Dan Dan at the Jotan Dan Dan building. You can see them in Kagman, and you can see them in Garapan at the BRI building. PHI Pharmacy, Health Mart Company, check them out.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're going to go fast.
March 31st, 1968. With America divided over the Vietnam War, President Lyndon Johnson makes a surprise election year announcement.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
1889. In Paris, engineer Gustave Eiffel unfurls France's tricolor flag from atop the Eiffel Tower, officially marking the structure's completion. 2005. Terry Schiavo dies at a Florida hospice at age 41, nearly 2 weeks after her feeding tube was removed. It's the end of a wrenching right-to-die dispute over the brain-damaged woman that drew national attention. 1943.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain,
In New York, the musical Oklahoma by Rodgers and Hammerstein opens on Broadway. And 1995. Tejano singer Selena is shot to death in Corpus Christi, Texas, by the founder of her fan club. She was 23 years old. Today in history, March 31st. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8 a.m. That's right. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and that means we're at the top of the hour, and we're going to get you the latest updates from the news. All right, well, that's what I was going to do, but I don't think they've updated it yet. Maybe I'm just ahead of my time. I'm refreshing it, and I don't see it. It looks like the same-o, same-o. All right, well, I guess we'll come back to that when they're ready. But anyway, we're here, and it's great, and you're here. Great to see you guys. Hey, over there in YouTube land, Kathy Tenorio Diaz, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for popping in and stopping by. Great to see you. Tobak Castro, the tip man from Dan Dan. Great to see you. Oh, so anything for Salinas. Oh, Salinas. Are you talking about like the singer Selena? Or are you talking Salinas? Are you talking about California? Salinas was right outside of Fort Ord when I was stationed there. I mean, I'm still there. I don't think the town moved. And Trey was saying that rapper Robbie Glass was out there in Thailand when that earthquake happened. No kidding. Man, I don't know when he gets back. I'll find out and message you guys to hear a little bit more about that. No kidding. I'd love to get a firsthand account from him if he could tell us about how it went. Because, geez, it seems terrifying to be out there for something like that. Let's see if I can't get you a news update from a different source. Let's see what we got here. And mine as well. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'll give this one to you. All right, so here's the latest update. This one's going to be from ABC News. Let's give it a shot.
And the nerves of survivors of the 7.7 earthquake in Myanmar. Also damage in Bangkok, Thailand, where ABC's Britt Clennett is.
Workers at the 34-story building that collapsed are using heavy machinery to lift debris from a now 7-story mound of rubble. But the critical window to find survivors is closing. We know U.S. aid workers are here in Thailand, but despite President Trump indicating U.S. help will reach Myanmar, it's not clear when American assistance will arrive.
The one person in the house hit yesterday by a small plane in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Say investigators. The only person on the plane, the pilot, died in the fireball. President Trump making more threats against Iran after its president rejected direct negotiations with the U.S. over Iran's nuclear program. President Trump telling NBC News if he and Russian President Putin cannot come to an agreement on ending the war against Ukraine, he will put more tariffs on all Russian oil. This is ABC News.
Rapper Sean Diddy Combs was a kingmaker. He had wealth, fame, and power.
What's up? Welcome to New York!
Until it all came crashing down.
Federal investigators raiding 2 homes owned by hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
I'm Brian Buckmeyer, an ABC News legal contributor. As Diddy heads to trial, we trace his remarkable rise and fall and what could be next. Listen to Bad Rap, The Case Against Diddy, a new ABC Audio. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Brad Milkey. You may know me as the host of ABC Audio's daily news podcast, Start Here, but I'd like to add aspiring true crime expert to my resume. And here's how I'm going to make it happen. Every week, I'm going to unpack the biggest true crime story that everyone is talking about. ABC's got some unique access here, so I'll talk to the reporters and producers who have followed these cases for months, sometimes years. We'll bring you the latest developments and the larger context on the true crime stories you've been hearing about. Follow The Crime Scene for special access to the people who know these stories best.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wow, got a little funk going on in the morning. No, not that kind. I'm talking music kind. Good morning. Hey, you know what? It is going to be a beautiful day out here in Saipan. It's gorgeous outside right now, as you can see behind me. Hey, so 83 degrees right now. Wow, it's getting our disco on. 83 degrees and humidity at 72% up there at Saipan International Airport today. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, high near 85. Winds gusting as high as 29 miles per hour. Almost enough to knock over my news van of justice, but not quite enough. All right, tonight's going to be a nice one, too. The wind's going to die down, but gusts still going to be as high as 23 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're looking at another sunny, breezy day. Wednesday, same thing. Mostly sunny skies. Great weather. High near 88 and gusts as high as 21. And Wednesday, we'll hear more from Landon Aidlet, who'll be joining us on the show again. Looking forward to that, as we do every Wednesday with Landon, unless there's a schedule conflict or unless there's a bigger storm coming up, and he'll be on here more often than that. But that's what we've got from him. Now, be careful if you're going out there on the water, folks, or going to the beach. There's a rip current statement that's in effect until tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So be careful if you're out there on the water. Never turn your back on the sea. When you get out there, be careful. It's all the way till tomorrow, and it's mostly on the east-facing reefs here in Saipan. So, again, if you're out there on the east, where's the east side? You know where the east side of Saipan is. But that's like the Dandan side if you're going to the Bird Island beach side, all that other stuff, rip current statement out there. So be careful out there. If you do get caught in a rip current, remember, don't fight it. You can't beat the rip current. The ocean is undefeated. But when you get sucked out of there, make sure that you swim parallel to the beach. Get yourself out of the rip and wave your arms and yell if you can get someone's attention on the beach, so that if they can't come out there to help you, maybe they can get local authorities to get out there and get you. But do not try to swim against that rip. You will not win. That is not the strategy for winning. You just swim along the beach until you get safe. And that's the way to do it. It's the only way to do it. And but there are other ways of doing other things in Saipan. Like, for instance, there's other ways of operating and finding a solution to a hotel that went dark in Saipan. Right when the Hyatt closed, you thought that was it. It was going to be a big loss to the community, and it was. It was kind of tough. We lost a legacy partner with us, has been here for over 42 years, and it was closing and awfulness, right? Well, the good news is that we got a guy here who's invested quite a bit in the CNMI over the last about 10 years or so, and he's like, you know what? Let's add to this portfolio. Let's buy the old Hyatt. Or lease it, you know. You got to go through public lands and all that stuff. And they did. And this was Friday morning. They ended up, we had already heard that they were looking at doing something bigger, and they were going to try to get an international brand on tap. And we did. Now, we did a video with them a bit ago where we had like an unveiling of the brand that they were going to pursue. But this time around, we ended up seeing them sign an agreement, the folks from Marianas Beach Resort, David Hood and MB Capital signed an agreement with the folks from Marriott. Marriott's the parent company for Sheraton. And now we are officially, even though we did the stuff, now we're on the road to becoming a Sheraton property. And that means a lot of stuff. In fact, there's the governor who's going to give his remarks during that. It's not going to be Marriott Saipan. It's going to be the Sheraton. So Sheraton, think of it like Ford and Lincoln, Mercury, those things, right? So it's like part of their brand, or like Lexus and Toyota, John. So like a Lexus is essentially Toyota, but it's a fancier version, right? So Marriott and Sheraton, same company, but this is just one of the other brands, right? So this was on Friday at 4:00 over there. Now, we listened to Dave Hood talk a little bit about what's going on. We listened to the governor talk about what's going on. In fact, I think Dave Hood was the next speaker that was up. Let's find out. I'll zip over to it. But the governor had a lot of good things to say. He was happy about it. There's Gloria Kavanaugh. She's the general manager for the hotel. She's got her drink in hand. By the way, everybody had, there was the mayor. Mayor R.B. Camacho was there too. And our lieutenant governor, David Apatang, was there. He's the one who gave the toast later as well. Then he wrapped up. Then you've got, hold on, let's see. Oh, there was a message from our Congresswoman, Kimberly King-Hines, as well. And then there's David Hood. That's the guy who bought the hotel, leased it, right? And he's the one making waves. Now, they said that the first thing that they're going to do to get them on board with the Sheraton program is that they're going to have to really do a redesign for the lobby. So it's going to look different, and that means it's going to be exciting. And it's not going to happen next month or in the next 2 months, but by the end of the year is what they're shooting for, so that they have their property ready for the Sheraton standards. Now, we had heard a long time about the Hyatt, about like how they their standards may have been slipping or they've been lowering and everything. Their standard of quality was never in question, but the facility needed a little bit of a facelift, and they weren't doing a lot for that. But that was because for the longest time they were waiting to get their lease renewed. They finally got it, and then all of a sudden we get walloped by this pandemic, and we haven't really recovered tourism-wise yet. So they end up getting out of their lease instead of upgrading all that stuff. So now it's going to fall on these guys to make Saipan's one of their premier downtown Garapan facilities really, really nice, at least at the Sheraton level. So let's, I'm going to rewind it a little bit, and I'll get you guys. We're going to listen to Dave Hood talk about the whole thing. In fact, here, let's unmute this.
Mr. David Hood.
Here we go.
How is everybody today? Yeah, feeling good? No rain. So how many of you are going to be out here tonight at the Skipper's Bar? We all go in there afterwards? No, today for me is a happy day and a sad day all rolled into one. Now, why do I say that? Because for me, the Hyatt brand was an iconic brand that I was used to seeing here. And I hate to see it go. It resonated with all of us, the brand, and we all have great memories. So I'm sad in that way, but I have really good news. The Marriott people, the Sheraton, they are passionate about this hotel. They are, from the minute we met them, they were just excited about this place, and they worked very hard behind the scenes to make this happen. And so I think we're in really good hands here. We're going to work together with them closely, and they are, they've all been here, they've all stayed here, they've all enjoyed coming here to this hotel. So we feel very confident that they're going to be helpful in making this a success. I do want to mention a few people. Where's Gloria Chan? Okay, see Gloria Chan there? We got to give her a hand. Gloria is one of the main people that I worked with from the Marriott Group, and she's pretty amazing. I had direct contact with her all the time. Without her, I don't think this deal would have gotten done because she was very instrumental in making it happen. She stays here, she loves it here, and she even likes the Godfather bar, so, you know, she's got to be good, right? So anyway, thank you so much for all your help. I really appreciate what you did. Gloria Kavanaugh, where are you? Where's Gloria? Now, she needs no introduction, as we know. But Gloria was extremely helpful, too, behind the scenes, trying to make all this happen for us. It's been a lot of fun to work with her, and we worked really hard on this for a long time. If you think about it, though, it's only been really 6 months, so I feel good about the time frame that we were done. And then the other thing about Gloria is she likes Godfathers, too, so, you know. Mihir, where's Mihir? All right, so this guy, he's amazing. He's been here for 15 years. He's our head engineer. He was very instrumental in coming up with this 10-page document that of all the things that we have to do here to the hotel to become a Sheraton. So I do ask for your patience because there's a lot of work that we do have to do to make sure we're up to the brand, the standard of the brand. So, but Mihir, let's give it up for Mihir because without him, this place would not run like it does, and he does an incredible job keeping the lights on for us. And then lastly, I have to thank Governor Palacios because he, in the beginning, I think the Department of Public Lands was okay with us just being a normal brand, right? But I met with the governor one day and he said, Dave, this can't be a Dave Hood hotel. It needs to be a brand. It's got to be a brand. It's got to be an international brand. And I remember going, yes, sir, okay. But in my mind, I'm thinking, shit, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be hard. But as of today, we made that come true. So thank you, Governor, for pushing me to make that happen. I appreciate that a lot.
Now, I'm just going to pause it for a second. I was thinking a Dave Hood hotel. Why don't you just call it the Holiday Inn? Like, you could absolutely get away with that. It would look great. The branding would be on par. All right. Enough of my puns. Let's go.
And I just want to, you know, in the community here, I look at all the faces and I recognize a lot of you. And I want to thank everybody that comes up to me on a daily basis, thanking me for making this happen. And so God bless all of you for that. And you guys have been, everybody in the community has been super supportive. So I really appreciate that input from everyone. It's been awesome. And so, you know, we're going to make this happen. And again, patience, please, because we have a lot of work to do. But thank you very much. I appreciate all the support. Thank you.
So that's Dave Hood. Now, the folks who are going to come up next are the folks from the Marriott and the company in particular. And they've been around about almost 100 years. Actually, almost 90 years, sorry. Which is also almost 100, but still.
List of what needs to be done to this property.
Oh, they're talking about that massive list of what they need to do, their punch list.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Hood, for everything. You know, Gloria, the whole Marriott group.
I want to get to their introduction for the next guy.
That was our, that was our, and leading to that, here is, I would like to introduce Peter Gaster. He's the Regional Vice President of Asia Pacific Development for Marriott International. Peter, please.
Yeah, wonderful good afternoon from me as well to Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Mayor, the legislative here, and all the people from the business community and the friends of Dave Hood. And as I am very well aware, you were all very good friends of the Hyatt brand as well. Now, for me, obviously, it's a great pleasure to be here today for this occasion. It's always a very important milestone for us when we sign the agreements for a new hotel, and starting with Dave Hood and NB Capital, a new long-term partnership. I was the last time in Saipan about 2 years ago in 2003, where the island was just hit by a typhoon a few days before my travel schedule, and we were actually not sure if we can still go ahead with the trip, but luckily it all worked out. And since then, when we gave a commitment to Saipan and actually the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas Islands, that Marriott International, we are committed to come into the country, establish hotels, and help develop the tourism industry. We've come a long way since then, and we're now at the stage where we can introduce the Sheraton brand. Now, Sheraton, as you could see on the sign here on the podium, the brand was established in 1937, so almost 90 years old as a brand, and was a core brand of Starwood Hotels when Marriott and Starwood Hotel merged. Our company is 98 years old, so we're almost about the same age, but within our portfolio of globally certified brands, what we have now, the Sheraton brand is really one of the core 3 strategic brands for our company. And when we merged with Starwood, within our organization, the importance of the Sheraton brand was elevated to the very, very top of our senior leadership. And as I've heard, obviously, replacing the Hyatt brand that has been here for many years sets the bar very high for us. But I can assure you that we will do everything in our power, and we will mobilize the resources to make this hotel successful. And I want to thank Dave again for the trust that he has given in us. And I also appreciate very much Governor's push to put an international brand on this hotel. Now, the hotel will obviously undergo renovation. I'm not sure if it's really a 14-page property improvement plan, but in order to introduce the brand as quickly as possible, we've also been prepared that we do the renovation scope over a phased approach. Phase 1 is obviously transformation of some public areas and that, so we can actually introduce the brand as quickly as possible. And with the confidence what we have after I met the chief engineer there and how very well organized Gloria was along the way, I'm confident that they'll be able to complete phase 1 and we can open as the Sheraton before the end of the year. So we do everything what we can to support a quick and smooth transition. And we want to make sure that in a few years from now, when you look back, nobody is sad anymore that it's not a Hyatt anymore, but we make everybody proud that it's a Sheraton. So thank you for that. You know, when I heard earlier that some of you said it's difficult economic times, I think we all went through those. And I quite often think back of the pandemic, which has only been a few years ago, but it really feels like a very distant memory, right? Yet we still have some of the aftermaths to deal with. As I was traveling around some of the other islands as well during this week in the Pacific, I've realized, and I was talking to other hoteliers and to competitors and other business leaders, there is a recovery. We hope that it will go stronger and further and beyond, especially when it comes to airlift capacity. And what we've seen in past projects, when we had a first mover position where we moved into a market, we were able to mobilize our partners and ancillary industries. So if there's a new hotel and there's demand for guests to go, that airlines will also hopefully follow. And I think the recovery there is there, and the future for Saipan is bright. So when I said earlier, the company, we're celebrating in 2027 our 100-year anniversary. The Sheraton brand will be 90 years by then. One of the very founding core values what our founders have put in place when the company was established and started from a 9-beer root beer stand in Washington, D.C., and has grown now to the largest hotel company with over 9,300 hotels worldwide, was that number one is that we have to put people first. We look after our associates and our partners, we look after each other, and we look after our guests, and then the guest will come back again and again, and this will be the recipe for success. And despite the size the company got, we're still very true to that core principle of ours. Another core principle is that wherever we operate and wherever we partner with local businesses to introduce our hotel brands, we want to make sure we are a very good local corporate citizen. And the more hotels we have, and hopefully not the Sheraton to start and another to come, but maybe in the years to come there'll be more hotels here. The more hotels we are associated with through management or franchise in a market like Saipan, the more marketing dollars we can put behind marketing the destination, but also the more business opportunities we can create for the local business community, supplying the hotels, its employment opportunities. It may give citizens of the territory the opportunity to transfer and work in other parts of the world in Marriott hotels. And this, I can assure you, we'll do everything we can to do. And last but not least, all these factors all together may also generate a little bit more taxes for the government. Yeah. So now, when I mentioned earlier again the 100 years, one of the things we've been reminded by Mr. Marriott, who ran the company and under his leadership for over 60 years, he said, success is never final. Make sure you look after your people every day, you work together. And I can assure you this is what we will do here. We will use all our efforts to introduce the Marriott culture into the hotel here as well, to make sure that this hotel will be successful. Now, with that in mind, that success is never final, I want to thank David again for his confidence and trust in us. And I can assure you, David, and everybody else here, that Gloria, Nitish, myself, but a large number of people within our organization will make sure we do everything to make you proud that this is a Sheraton and make this hotel truly successful. Yeah. So thank you for that, and I look forward to be back for the opening.
All right, so that was it. And then
now we're going to do the actual signing of the agreement.
Oh yeah, so we'll show you that. So this is where they actually made they did the signing. Dave Hood, I've only had a couple of conversations with him, so I don't really know him very well, but he's funny. I mean, like in a ha-ha way. Like, he's funny. Like, he's got a good sense of humor. Watch what he does after he signs this. So this is where they sign the agreement. I'll turn up the mic. There's no microphone there because I've got one on the podium and one by the speaker, and the microphone there on the table isn't on. So we'll see if we can actually pick up what he says.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Just one page, yes.
This right here.
We have to show it like this?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Okay.
Who wants a pen?
Thank you very much.
All right, a nod to the
I hope
president.
everyone has a drink in their hand. I'm going to ask the Lieutenant Governor to come up for our
and you gotta love our
remarks and
Lieutenant
our
Governor. Now while everybody's drinking champagne and some people are drinking stuff a little bit more than champagne, Lieutenant Governor's like, no, I'm cool with water. Like, it's great. He's comfortable enough with himself. I can't believe that
I went to this event. I didn't even grab anything. Yeah, I was busy. I couldn't stick around, though, because right after this, we went to the basketball championship, the basketball finals. We made it to the semifinals.
Make sure you get your drink.
Where we got to see.
Until we finish all this.
Here we go. Let's get the Lieutenant Governor's
right
speech, or his toast. And then we'll move on.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I don't have long remarks. I just want to say thank you, Dave, Marianas Beach Resort, and I want to welcome Marian International into our life in the Northern Marianas. Thank you very much. I know that Dave and Gloria have been working very hard on trying to get this thing going, and today is in reality. So thank you. We appreciate you being here. So now, I'd like to ask everybody to please join us as we raise our glass to wish Marianas Beach Resort and the Marian International a success partnership that will thrive here in the community. Again, congratulations to you all. Thank you.
And then our Lieutenant Governor, I think I catch him with the straw.
Hey, you can get a second. It's free. Thank you, Gloria.
Gotta love our Lieutenant Governor.
Thank God.
He's just great. I think our friend from Marriott's still adjusting to the temperature.
Okay, that will commence.
All right, so that was it. Anyway, it was another big moment for us here in the CNY as we get a new property, the new brand that's coming in, and it's going to be a change. Like, imagine, so like, we're not old. I know that, like, for young guys, like, we're old, but like, we're not old. So it's kind of exciting here because we're watching the start of new major brands, international brands coming to Saipan, and we're here for it. Like I wasn't here for the start of the Hyatt in Saipan, but I bet that was a big day. I wasn't here for the start of like the other. What was the hotel next door? The Fiesta. Before that was Daiichi, and I think that was at the Intercontinental or something like that hotel. But like the Hyatt, the big international brand that was the anchor in Garapan, it's pretty cool that we're here for the start of that. Happy Thanksgiving, that's right. Hey, by the way, saw you guys on the other side too. Want to say hey to Jason Warren, thanks for watching. And Carlene Regis, great to see you as well over there on the Good Morning Mariana side. Guys, if you haven't already, by the way, if you haven't already followed us on the NMI News Service page, please do, because that's where we base a lot of our metrics off of. I know we still do it on the Good Morning Mariana show page, and that's probably a good idea because that's where we started. In fact, that was the funny thing is that's where I thought was gonna this whole thing was gonna be. I thought I was just gonna do the show, and I thought that was gonna be it, and then it branched off into the news service and everything else. So it is a big, cool thing for us. Oh, Tobot with the link. Thank you so much for popping that up there. Man, it's definitely grown. Jerry Tan was there for the event, by the way. I'm looking at him on the screen right now. It was a who's who of everybody at the event for Marianas Beach Resort. But anywhere, I'm looking at you in the comments, Tobot. You're hilarious, dude. Your sense of humor, man, is the best. Just the best. All right. In fact, if I end up getting if we ever move our location, I want to try and get you here more often. It's not the easiest spot up here on the third floor. It's definitely got some challenges for some folks. And I do love this location. I love this backdrop that we have It is outstanding. And the location, as far as like its position on the island, I'm right by the main intersection. I can creep through the back road if traffic out here is bad. Oh, anyway. But I am looking at, there's another space that's not too bad at all. But we're happy here. We're definitely happy here in our home. I love being here where CETA is because you're at the home for economic development. All right, guys, so it's 8:34. In about 20 minutes, we're going to have Carrie Dot come in studio with us. So get excited for that. We did get the latest news drop. Again, Mondays are our Fox News days more than anything because AP only puts out something on Friday. And they used to do something at least once on Saturday and once on Sunday. But AP has changed what they're doing with that for the weekend. So we're going to get you this one from Fox News for right now. So we'll do this and we'll catch you on the other side of that. And Bruce, you're right. Hey, Bruce, by the way, I have a drink. You got free drinks for you because I got a message. John William, who won this over the week on Friday, he won this free bucket of beer at Last Shot. He couldn't make it, so he wants to give it to you. So that's from John William to Bruce Camacho. You got yourself a bucket of beer. Send me a message and come on over. We'll get you all set up, and you're going to love it.
The finger pointing continues. I'm Daria Albinger. Fox News National Security Advisor Michael Waltz is insisting he never met Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, nor does he have his contact information. But somehow the journalist ended up on a signal chat.
Jeffrey Goldberg said on NBC's Meet the Press there was no subterfuge that led National Security Advisor Mike Waltz to add him to a signal group chat that shared attack plans against Houthis in Yemen.
My number was in his phone. He mistakenly added me to the group chat. There we go.
Goldberg added that post-chat criticism of him and his outlet was expected, and as he said, part of a playbook.
When they do something wrong, they go on the attack, and they attack the messenger.
President Trump said none of the cabinet-level officials on the chat will be fired for including Goldberg in the group. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Florida voters will head to the polls this week for two special House elections.
There will be several eyes on Florida Tuesday as it holds a pair of special elections. Republican Jimmy Patronis and Democrat Gabe Valamont are running to replace former Congressman Matt Gaetz in the 1st Congressional District. In the 6th Congressional District, Republican Randy Fine and Democrat Josh Weil are competing to fill the seat formerly held by National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. Both districts are seen as GOP strongholds, but Democratic candidates are seeing strong fundraising numbers, raising expectations that the results could be tight.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The U.S. is not going to get Greenland. That's what the prime minister of the world's largest island is saying. He's pushing back against President Trump's continued assertions that the U.S. will take control of the Danish territory. The president says it's a matter of national and international security, recently saying military force is not off the table. Greenland's prime minister says no one determines its fate but its people. America's listening to Fox News.
On the latest episode of the Fox Nation Investigates podcast, Evil Next Door, female serial killer Eileen Wuornos, a Florida-bound hitchhiking prostitute, rose to infamy after killing 7 men. Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com.
Pope Francis continues to recover after a major health scare. Here's Fox's Paul Stevens.
The Pope showing a, quote, truly surprising improvement. The words of Dr. Sergio Alfieri, who treated the 88-year-old pontiff during a 5-week hospital stay for a life-threatening bout of double pneumonia. Alfieri visiting Pope Francis this past Wednesday and saying he should return to 90 to 100% of his pre-pneumonia condition and that his voice is regaining strength while he's also using less supplemental oxygen. The Pope was hospitalized on February 14th after a long bout with bronchitis that left him breathless at times and which quickly developed into double pneumonia. Paul Stevens, Fox News.
State Supreme Court elections don't usually get this kind of attention. A vote on Tuesday will determine which party controls the high court in Wisconsin. Republican Congressman Brian Stile on Fox and Friends Weekend.
The left wants to turn Wisconsin into the next Illinois or Minnesota. What's on the line? They want to take away photo identification. They want to end school choice. They want to override parental rights. This is an opportunity to have Brad Schimmel on the court, an individual who's dedicated his career to keeping our community safe, putting bad people away.
Republican Brad Schimmel, the Waukesha County judge, is taking on Dane County Judge Susan Crawford in a race which has reached record spending levels. Tonight, billionaire Elon Musk will hand out $1 million checks to two people who signed petitions in support of Schimmel. Crawford says he's trying to buy votes for the Republican candidate. He was known as a king of the TV miniseries. Richard Chamberlain played some iconic roles in Shogun, The Thornbirds. Earlier in his career, he shot to fame as Dr. Kildare, and he also appeared in movies like The Towering Inferno. Well, Chamberlain's publicist says he died in Hawaii at the age of 90 over the weekend, complications after a stroke. I'm Daria Alden. This is Fox News.
Hey everyone, this is Lauren Green, host of the Lighthouse Faith podcast. I recently sat down with Charles Payne to talk about his new special, A Matter of Faith.
You want to kind of do the right thing as much as possible and help everyone as much as possible. But there's certain rules when it comes to the stock market. You have to be profitable a certain period of times, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And there are other things out of their control. So it's easier as a private company than a publicly traded company.
Look out for Lighthouse Faith on your favorite podcast platform, or just ask Alexa to play Lighthouse Faith Podcast.
Pizza introduces bipartisan wings, a taste of harmony in these divided times. Left wings, right wings. In one box, united. Choose bipartisan wings, 20 for $24 at Pizza Pizza. They trust left wings. They're pushing radical flavors. They want to take away your blue cheese and restrict your wet naps. Why did the chicken cross the road? To escape the left wing's agenda. Paid for by the Right Wing's Coalition of Conservative Chicken.
Marianas, so welcome back. It is 8:41 in the morning, and we are 20 minutes away. Well, 19 if you want to be all like formal. Oh, 18 now about it. Before we got the folks from CareDot coming in to tell us about some of the great stuff that they're doing in our community. And then, as a reminder, we'll be live at the proclamation signing at 10 o'clock over at Dan Middle School for the DYS proclamation and DCCA. So we'll be there. And then I'm not sure if we can make it at Crown this afternoon for the proclamation for, was it autism? Yeah, we had it on here. And I'm just not sure if we can make it because I got to pick my kids up from school. And if they do it on time, then I can do it. If they can't, if they're it's a 90-minute program, so I don't know what the whole program is. If they get to the other stuff first, then I can swing it. But, I mean, I got to pick my kids up from school. It's a busy day. I know, it is a busy schedule. I literally, I'll hold this up. And you don't have to see all the specifics of it. But, like my, that's my calendar today. You don't even need it in focus. But all that stuff, those are all little different things that I got to knock out today throughout the day. So, I mean, hooray for me, right? It's cool. But they're just to say that there's a lot on the plate. And so, not a bad thing. It beats having nothing to do. All right, so some wild stuff happening. So we saw the President of the United States. He's doing some interesting things. I think would you say that it's not exactly conventional? I think that's fair, right? And so he's got some interesting things about him. Maybe that's an understatement. But he ended up busting out a threat to Iran yesterday about more tariffs, because apparently tariffs are cool. But the other one is bombing them if they don't come to an agreement with the United States about their nuclear program. And the thing is that the president offered to meet with Iran to talk about all this kind of stuff. And Iran said, no. So they're not interested in that. But I'll tell you that the funny thing is, Israel usually takes that into those matters into their own hands, and they'll lob some stuff Iran's way to try to derail their nuclear program. Remember when that whole thing about like how they had all those what do they call those things? I can't remember. Centrifuges to purify their uranium, their enrichment devices. Well, there's a pretty big attack that happened from Israel on that, and Iran really couldn't do a whole lot back on it. But the president's saying, look, if they don't make a deal, there will be bombing. It will be bombing the likes of which have never been seen before. There's a chance that if they don't make a deal, that I will do secondary tariffs on them like I did 4 years ago. Tariffs? Is he talking tariffs or is he talking sanctions? Because I thought they got sanctioned pretty heavy. I feel like they're using the wrong term. But anyway, that's that. We're scrapping. He also said he was pissed off at Putin, which, by the way, good. I don't know what it took, but he said that he was pissed off at Putin, and he threatens to put tariffs on Russian oil if Moscow blocks this Ukraine deal. So apparently he's really trying to do a push for this cease to the hostilities in Ukraine. And wouldn't it be great? Trump loves his tomahawks. That's funny. Wouldn't it be great if all of a sudden he takes a turn on this and is not a fan of Putin, like everyone's saying that he's a big Putin fan. And he's like, you know what? Screw you, Moscow. I'm all in on Ukraine. That's where I think he should be. Yeah, I absolutely do. It says, and so Trump ended up having this little interview with NBC News, and he said he was very angry at Putin last week. Credits and that he's been way more in favor of Russia than Ukraine since he took office. But he's trying to just put an end to this thing. Remember he said he was going to finish it in like 24 hours when he's elected, when he takes office? Anyway, he says, if Russia and I are unable to make a deal stopping the bloodshed in Ukraine, and I think it was Russia's fault, and if I think it was Russia's fault, I'm going to put secondary tariffs on oil, on all oil coming out of Russia. How much are we getting from Russia? He said that would be, if you buy oil from Russia, you can't do business in the United States. And there'll be a 25% tariff on all oil, 20 to 50% point tariff on all oil. So now that would be pretty big. Anyway, those guys, it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering if it... Here, let me find this other thing. So we got this stuff going on with them. We got the stuff going on with Russia, with Iran, and I want to see if I've got the one here with Marco Rubio. Yeah, because I picked this one up over the weekend. There's a couple of good speeches over the weekend. Secretary of Defense Hegseth had a good one. But this one is Marco Rubio. And he's talking about... this is about revoking visas. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. I think this is it. Hold on, sorry.
No, not that one, although that's pretty funny. Yeah, it's actually hilarious. That maybe I'll show you guys tomorrow. But this one, how long is this speech though? Hold on. I just don't want to uncork a long speech. 13. All right, well, let's hear. I'll skip through some of it. Because it deals with our age. This deals with our region. So this is Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. This is when he was talking with the folks from Indo-PACOM, before he came through the region here. And he went to the Daniel K. Inouye Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies in Honolulu. And he talks about like what's going on with our region. And he talks about getting smoked doing PT with the other folks in service. But more interesting, I think, is what he says about some of our adversaries here. We'll skip to it a little bit.
SS Alumni Network. But first of all, thank you so much, Susie, for your leadership. 30 years is quite an accomplishment, and for hosting us on this beautiful morning. And again, thank you to Admiral Paparo for his reputation, his leadership precedes him.
Admiral Paparo is the
He's
director
well
for
known in
Indo-PACOM.
Washington for all the right reasons.
Commander.
And we have our fighting admiral here in the Indo-Pacific. Appreciate your leadership. I'm honored to speak this morning in the Stackpole Auditorium. It was really neat to do research on this before coming here.
Yeah, we're going to skip past that.
A fellow being evacuated, his medevac before the helicopter exploded.
No.
General Stackpole retired.
It's a great
Vivian
story.
Stackpole,
but we're going to
who
go
is
past
here
that.
with us this morning. Ma'am. Thank you to you and your husband for your decades of serving together, particularly here in the Indo-Pacific. As every military family knows, no warrior serves alone. There's always a family alongside who sometimes have an even more difficult job because you don't really know what your loved one is doing, and yet you support them all the way, as you did. And thank you to the audience around the world for the opportunity to speak with you about how the Department of Defense views this region. This is my first time addressing military and civilian leaders in the Indo-Pacific as the Secretary of Defense. Many of you graduated from our premier forum for studying the Indo-Pacific and for building ties among national security leaders who are engaged in this region. Our relationships and our teamwork form the foundation of achieving peace through strength. President Donald Trump has made it clear that we will achieve peace through strength through an America First approach. But America First does not mean America only or America alone, ignoring allies and partners. It means that our military-to-military relationships must make sense for the United States and for our friends. Where there are imbalances, we will fix them, we will find them, and we're going to fix those imbalances. We will right-size the obligations and responsibilities needed for modern deterrence and defense, which is a large part of the conversation the Admiral and my team had yesterday. In some cases, it will require even greater attention to the partnerships that matter the most. And our alliances and partnerships in the Indo-Pacific matter a great deal to the United States. They matter because the Indo-Pacific is the region of consequence. I've tried to demonstrate that with calls to Australia, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, India, Thailand, Singapore, and many others in my first days as Secretary of Defense. I specifically, and our team directed, those are the folks we want to call first to send the signals of where our focus will be, to establish peace through strength. And with this first trip to the Indo-Pacific, and there will be many more, I'm making stops in the Philippines and Japan after a stopover in Guam as well. But to reiterate, I'm here today because the President has given me, and the American people gave him the mandate to achieve peace through strength. And we're going to do that in three ways, as the Admiral mentioned. Restoring the warrior ethos, rebuilding our military, and reestablishing deterrence. By restoring the warrior ethos, U.S. forces assigned to the Indo-Pacific will be the best trained and best equipped in the world. We've seen great signals in the Pentagon as well, with recruiting numbers at historic levels across the forces, as America's young men and women are responding to the leadership of President Trump and want to serve in record numbers in uniform. And we know our opponents are taking notice. Number two, we're going to rebuild our military by optimizing the Department of Defense and the U.S. Defense Industrial Base to rapidly and responsibly deliver the right tools to our warfighters in real time. And we will also deliver those tools rapidly and responsively to our allies and to our partners. There are many opportunities for our defense industries to collaborate. And I'm going to press hard to expand capacity and accelerate deliveries. I can tell you every Minister of Defense and others that I speak to brings up foreign military sales and our ability to deliver those capabilities front and center in those conversations. I was recently with the Commander-in-Chief, who reiterated that as a priority of his from the White House. FMF, FMS, the opportunity to get systems in the hands of our allies and partners is a priority of this administration that we're focusing on at this moment. I know this center has also been focused on supply chain security for our weapon systems. When you look at the charts and you understand where too many things are sourced from, you understand the complications that come with that reality. You've also been studying how we can co-produce and co-sustain our platforms and munitions with partners who choose to work with us. So, Susie, please keep up the great work. We need it. It is more important than ever. And finally, as we reestablish deterrence, our charge is simple. We will work with our allies and our partners to deter the communist Chinese and their aggression in the Indo-Pacific. Full stop. By standing shoulder to shoulder with you, our allies and partners, we will put our enemies, our adversaries, those who stand against us, on notice. Each ally, each partner, each friend contributes their own unique capabilities to regional deterrence. A renewed focus on deterrence creates advantages for ourselves, our partners, and our allies. And it also does this while creating dilemmas, which is a lot of what we talk about, dilemmas for our adversaries. Our mission is to deter war. But if necessary, we will, together, defeat and destroy our enemies. None of this is new. This is the business that we are in. President Trump's vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific is as true today as it was when he first laid it out in Vietnam in 2017. It's a vision in which all countries prosper side by side as sovereign, independent states. It's a vision in which the United States remains engaged with and invested in and focused on, truly, the Indo-Pacific. It's a vision in which our allies and partners are at the forefront of deterring aggression. To paraphrase the president, I say to all of you who are here with me today and listening from around the region, we have been friends, partners, and allies for a long time. And we will remain friends, partners, and allies for a long time to come. But we need each and every one of our friends and partners and our allies to do their part as well. To be force multipliers alongside the United States of America. That has to be a two-way street. So let us today, through this institution, through our work at INDOPACOM, recommit ourselves to that. Recommit ourselves to reestablishing deterrence in the Indo-Pacific and to achieving peace through strength by working together, building credible warfighting capabilities, and by doing our part for the peace that we all long for. In closing, no one should question the resolve of the United States of America to defend our interests in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. We will do this through the deterrent power of the strongest, most effective, most lethal fighting force in the world. And that is something this administration is committed to in every capacity. Just last week, I was in the Oval Office, standing next to President Trump when he announced the new 6th generation fighter, the F-47. The most capable, most lethal, longest range, most stealth fighter jet the world has ever seen. I said to him, and I say to you now, I believe my kids and my grandkids will thank him for having the willingness to make that choice and invest in a platform of that strategic significance, which is needed specifically in this part of the world to continue to maintain deterrence. I hope, and I believe, that message was sent. Supported by and in partnership with capable, like-minded allies and partners, I believe the 21st century, this century we live in right now, can be and should be and will be an American-led, freedom-loving century. That is truly what is at stake. So it's great to meet so many of you here in person and even many more watching virtually online. I want to thank you for what you do. I want to thank you for your time, and I wish Godspeed always to our warriors. Thank you very much.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. All right, I wanted to get you that to talk a little bit about what the perspective was from D.C. when it comes to our area. We hear all this stuff, oh, what are we going to do with all this other stuff? But when you hear it from the folks who are actually running the show over there, I think that's where, it's just another perspective that's not just our local one. And the local one, you hear our guys battling. It seems like there's two folks, not just two folks, but there's two sides to it, politically and everything. And then we got to factor in that third side. What are the other folks saying about it for us? But anyway, tell you what, we're going to take a very quick commercial because we got our guests are here with us, and I want to have a nice little, I want to break this up a little bit instead of just jumping right into it. So folks, speaking of breaking up, you want to break up some of that fat? You want to break up some of that monotony in your life? You need to go ahead and get yourself down to Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness. They're right down the street from us in Chalon-Canoa. They've got the newest workout facility in the entire Marianas, and they have great deals, great prices, and they make it easy for you to get in there. Not just because they offer at a very affordable rate, they offer it 24 hours a day. So I can't get to the gym. I just don't have time. That's not an excuse anymore. They're open 24 hours a day. You want to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and go to work out? You can. You want to get up early in the morning. You want to get up at 4 in the morning before you go to work and go work out? You can. Doesn't matter. You can actually do lunch break too. You name it. They've got everything there. Go check them out. Local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements.
Our Dan Dan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
All right, good morning, Marianas, and welcome back. It is 9:05 in the morning, and it is March 31st, the last day of March. Can you believe it? We are cruising through 2025. Thank goodness, because it's been a rough start. Fair to say? I think so. Well, I'll tell you, there are great folks doing great things in the Marianas, and we are fortunate enough to have a couple of them with us today. Couldn't be more excited. Oh, no. My goodness. I'm just looking, I'm like, no, I changed the angle, and I don't have them on the screen yet. What's going on? There we go. Two of those folks who are making a big difference to all kinds of folks out here in the CNMI are in studio with us. We have the Executive Director for CARIDOT, Miss Lori Ogumoro, and we also have the Community Operations Manager, Luis Igual. Thank you so much for joining us in studio today, folks.
Well, thanks for having us. We're glad to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's not every day I get to have folks who are like a really hometown heroes in the studio. You might laugh, but I know the impact that you guys have on people out here, and so much of it's behind the scenes. You're not out there in front showing off the work you do, but the real work that you do makes such it's a real impact on the individual folks and families here in the Marianas. And yeah, hero is not an overstatement for what you guys do.
Well, thanks for that. That's a very nice introduction. We just believe in what we do, and we just, like you said, do it quietly every day because we believe in helping people and giving them hope. And it may be a drop in the bucket, but that drop is a ripple, and that ripple effect, it expands to the rest of the community. So we enjoy what we do and go to work every day. And there's that, I was recently watching a show. I don't know, maybe the young people don't know, but you know who Gloria Steinem is, right?
I know the name. I'm feeling really terrible.
She was an activist from the 60s and 70s, a woman's activist. And she said, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll forget what time of the day it is. You like what you do so much that you'll forget what time of the day it is. And that really kind of resonated with me because sometimes we forget what time it is, and because you enjoy what you do so much that you forget what time it is. And here it is, 43 years later, and I still enjoy what I'm doing, and helping people because we're people, right? And that's what CARIDOT is about, is helping the community and helping people with their needs.
Well, let's talk about CARIDOT a little bit. So, how did it get its start 43 years ago?
Well, it's the 45th anniversary of
45th.
CARIDOT. I've been a social worker here on Saipan for 43 years, but May 5th is the 45th anniversary of CARIDOT, and it was started by then Monsignor Thomas A. Camacho, who was Monsignor at the time, and 9 like-minded people in the community who got together and said, hey, we need to start a social service agency for the CNMI. And they got together and started, it was called Catholic Social Services, but they changed the name because they didn't want to say it's just for the Catholics, because it's for the whole community. Mm-hmm. We don't believe in saying, well, you're not a Catholic, so we can't help you, but that's not what we're about. We help everybody. We're blind to who you are as, your faith. We don't proselytize, we don't do any of that. If you have a need, you need food, you need rental assistance, you need help because you're a victim of violence, we'll help you. It doesn't matter. We don't look at you and ask you, well, what's your faith? We just help you. We don't ask you what's your immigration status. We don't ask you, where are you from, or, are you Chamorro, Carolinian, Filipino? It doesn't matter. We just help you because you're a human being. And all those people at that time had that same thought, so they changed it from Catholic Social Services to CARIDOT, which means charity in the local language of Chamorro, right, the vernacular. So it's been going strong. We have various programs, and we just keep developing more programs as we see the different needs in the community.
Well, it's lovely. I'm more familiar with the I have definitely brought stuff there, but it's been a very long time ago. Where are you guys located? Like, if people want to drop stuff off, like, I remember that used to be the thing. Like, donate clothes was a real big thing before, but also maybe food, or what do you accept?
So right now we are located in Dandan. It's right on Dandan Road, heading towards if you're coming from San Vicente, it's way before Lucky Market, Benki, and then of course the main is the Dandan Middle School. And if you're coming from the airport side, it's the opposite. You're gonna pass Dandan Middle School, Benki, and then Lucky. We're on if you're coming from the south, heading north, we're on the right side. It's a 2-story green building, and Carrot Out occupies the whole first floor,
And
include our thrift shop.
That's great, the thrift shop part. So when are you guys open for people to come in, and if they want to shop too?
We are open from Monday to Friday, except holidays and weekends, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Man, all day. So it's great and pretty easy to get there. And what are some of the things that you get? Well, I was going to say, what do you get the most of? But how about this? What is it that you guys could use the most of if people were dropping anything off?
The most important would be food. That's one of the biggest demands, food. For donations, we accept clothing of all kind. Pillow covers, bed sheet, curtains, whatever. Instead of just dumping it, maybe bring it over. We can have a look. The other one is hygiene products. If people want to donate also laundry detergents and whatever, we would accept it.
Wow. I would imagine, it just hits me, like, I bet hotels would probably be big donators for stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
do.
do. And somebody who donated cases of toilet paper. So in the food packages, we'll put in the toilet paper stuff because everybody needs toilet paper. So, and I think Luis forgot to mention that we are open on Saturdays.
Oh, yes.
On, is it payday weekend? Government payday
Every
weekends.
Saturday of the government payday.
In the afternoon.
Yes.
Because we don't want to compete with the Sabalu market. So they generally have a pretty good sales because people say, well, I'm working, so I can't make it to the thrift shop.
By 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
right.
by 4 o'clock. So they've been opening on Saturdays, and that's going well. So there's going to be special sales in May for the 45th anniversary. So, and the community is very generous. We get a lot of donations, and sometimes we have to say, oh, we're so full, we have to stop the donations, and people get, but I just cleaned out my closet. But they're very respectful and say, just let us know when you're going to take donations again, because unfortunately our space is so small and gets really tight, and we have to, get the sales going, and then we make space again for those donations. But we really are appreciative of those donations because it helps us to pay the rent and helps go into other programs and things like that for the community. Buy food for the food pantry, or different needs for clients, that what we call unfunded client needs that we can use from the thrift shop sales.
So whenever we see people in need, one of the first things we think of is reaching out to Carry It Out, and here's the information for them, go to Carry It Out. But how does somebody get assistance from you? Do they just walk in the door and say, hey, I need help, or how does that work?
Sure, that's one way. You can just come to the office. Another way would be to call the victim hotline, 234-5100, and say, this is what's happening, and the person who answers the hotline will guide them, whether they're going to get help through CAREDOT or through a different agency in the community. They can get that resource. If they're a victim of crime, if they need a temporary restraining order, if they need access to the shelter, they can get that assistance through the victim hotline. If they need rental assistance, they can just call the main office. Now, the rental assistance is a little tricky right now because we're running out of funding. We used to always count on funding, but because of the new administration, that funding has been stopped for the time being.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're not expecting that funding right now. We've reached out to the program people in Washington, D.C., and it's all on hold. So that funding is not coming out. We did get funding from SNILE, and so that funding now is what we're using. We've used all the other funding. We did get funding from Bank of Hawaii Foundation, and that funding is all used up. And we decided to use that for rental assistance because it's a big demand. Right now, the diocese has a food pantry program. So the parishes are taking turns collecting canned food each month and rotating through the different parishes. And then they give that food over to the Caradot Food Pantry. Also, the Mormon Church has given us a huge donation for our food pantry. So we marry that with the donations we get monthly for the food pantry. So we're trying to sustain the pantry instead of in the past, we would just get usually at Thanksgiving and then all the food goes away in the month. By Christmas, we don't have any more food. So one of our board members said, you know, it'd be nice if we rotated through the parishes. And so the Father Charlie Borja, when he was the apostolic administrator, he said, that's a great idea. And he went with it, and it's working really well now through the parishes. So we are really grateful to the parishes for supporting the food pantry. So that's working well.
That funding that was coming from the federal government, I guess, like what was that coming through?
It was coming through the United Way Emergency Food and Shelter Program, so that's on hold now. So that is, hopefully they'll restart that. We're not sure when that will happen, but you know, we don't have control over these things, so we have to look at, and we use that money for the food pantry, and most of it that came to Caradot we use for rental assistance.
Boy, I've been out here for, this is my 23rd year now. I had forgotten about the United Way,
Yes.
being out in the mainland.
We had been using that funding since the 1990s here, Caradot.
Wow.
Yeah, since around, I think somewhere in the late 1990s, that funding has been going to Caradot, and we've been using it for rental assistance. So we have been consistently using it to help people pay their rent.
So how does somebody come up for rental assistance? Like, what do they say? Hey, I'm out of luck right now. I lost a job. I can't find work.
Yes. So it's they can walk in. We'll get all their information, from phone number to their full name, on email, in case because some people go off from the load. Or the best way is just to call. Caradot at 670-234-6981. It's so that way we just input your information in right away. Everything is there, total number of household members, where are you currently renting, because we have a lot of requirements too that needs to support the funding before you can avail to it. And then once you're on the waiting list, the case manager will go through it, do her thorough screening, and just give you a call back and let you know what other documents is needed.
Well, I didn't even know that was one of the programs that you did. Like I know that there's a lot that I don't know with Caradot, but that's amazing. I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Do you know how many people on the waiting list now? Do you have an idea?
Right now, we're still working on 2024.
Wow.
Moving into 2025. 2025, I think we're almost near 80 on the list. But that's not including 2024.
So you can't do this job and not be empathetic, right? I mean, you have to really care about all these folks. And how difficult must it be to tell somebody that we don't have it or we can't do it? I mean, and do you try to help them find another way to do it? I feel like when somebody would come in, you instantly form some kind of a bond with them. and you want to be, you want to help them. You're compelled to help them somehow.
I think that's what I'm really the most proud of the staff at CareDot, because they have a really good way of talking to people and saying, I'm going to put you on the waiting list. You know, I'm sorry to hear about your situation. There's a lot of people ahead of you, but we're going to put you on. You know, make sure you take care of yourself, and you know, this is what we can do for you now. They'll listen. They'll take the time to listen to them. They can't just say, well, there's nothing we can do for you. It's fine. You know, they're going to listen to them, hear their story, because people they want people to listen. They want people to hear their story. And so you have to take time. Some people can be very rude. You know, it's in human nature when you're sometimes upset and you're stressed, you can be rude. But if the staff on the other end are able to listen and say, you know, there's nothing we can do right now, but we're going to put you on the waiting list, and, you know, make sure you update us, and we'll help you as soon as we can. But there's all these people ahead of you, and everybody's in the same boat, kind of thing. But if you talk with them in kindness and, you know, like you said, in an empathetic way, then it gives people hope. And that's what we're trying to do, because, you know, the money is we don't have a lot of money, and we're trying to help as many people as possible. But if you know, sometimes, you know, I listen to people, and I know that I can't do anything for them, but if I talk to them in such a way, you know, you hang up and you can hear their smile on their face. At least you talk to them and you gave them ideas on how they can help themselves. Other options in the community.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of the people that we help, they don't really have other options except through CareDot because of their situation.
Yes.
So that's why we may be the last resort for them, or the only resort, but we're happy that we can do that and be there for them. And we just kind of keep the lifeline open to them and say, you know, let us know what else we can do. You know, we have a food pantry. We can help you if you need this or that. Come to the thrift shop and get clothes for your kids, or, you know, other ways that they can help themselves in the meantime while they're waiting for their rental assistance.
Well, I imagine you're not their first option. Like, a chain of events must have happened to get them to you. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
not happening like they're just walking in off the street and just, hey, you're not coming in like in a vacuum, right? So folks are probably already under the weight of a certain amount of stress of
Yes.
whatever that is. And if they hear that, you know, maybe they pinned a lot of hope on, you know, what you might be able to do for them. I'm trying to envision what it must look like, how anybody could be rude to you guys at all. And I would imagine it's just a victim of their situation.
Their circumstances, yeah. They're a victim of their own circumstances. And, you know, we try to, you know, sometimes people, you know, bless their hearts, but they don't know how to deal with the stress, and so they got to take it out on somebody, right? It doesn't happen often. A lot of times when it's the food pantry, well, can you reserve a bag of food for me? It's like, no, it's first come, first serve. That's the hardest part, and people will get upset. But, you know, you have to come, you have to line up, you know, but it's, you know, the only fair way to do it, right? Yeah, so it's difficult. But I listen to the staff, and I'm very proud of the way they answer the phone, and they do it with, you know, with kindness and empathy, and there's always somebody who's not going to be happy. That's human nature, but for the most part, they're very kind and professional.
I imagine there's a lot of listening, a lot of hugs, and a lot of tears exchanged from a lot of different conversations.
Not so much hugs and tears down at the main office. I might be up at the shelter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we do have the shelter on Cuma Esperanza, and we do a lot of work up there. That's, you know, the shelter for victims of intimate personal violence, for domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, stalking. That's always a very busy place. And so somebody may come into the main office and say, you know, they need help, or call the victim hotline, and we'll get them up to the shelter, or DPS will call the victim hotline. And that's one segue to get somebody into the shelter. So that is always a busy place.
Amazing. Luis, how long you been with CareDot?
Going on 3 years.
Wow. So, tell me a little bit about your experience with it, like how you got involved and what it's been like for you.
Most of my career I've been law enforcement, military, and then I have a really good friend that we used to work a lot with. Said, I told her, I said, maybe one day I'll be with CareDot. And then an opening came up, I applied, and I was so thankful they hired me. Took a break from the military side and the law enforcement, give my body and my mental health a break, and man, I'm loving it.
What branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
What was your MOS?
I was a 92 Yankee, 92 Alpha, and I was a 15 Tango qualified. Sorry, certified.
I was just 11B. I was one
I have
thing.
no idea what all that means. Sorry, guys.
So it's like, it's the code. So you ask a MOS, that's your job. Like, what's
Okay.
your job, like, label? So what's 92 series?
92, it's quartermaster, supply.
Okay.
I was with the supply unit with the aviation.
And I know 13's engineers, I think. What's
15 is the mechanics, Black Hawk, Chinook.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yes.
No kidding. Well, so that's what he was doing. And I was
We
loving
don't have any helicopters at CareDot. Sorry.
Well, that would be great. That's one way to distribute,
Okay.
that could
Okay.
help. So I said I was 11 Bravo, which is just the infantry. So just a regular, when you think of a guy, a soldier, that's what I was doing.
Is
Just,
that what they call the grunts or something?
yes, I was
Oh,
an
okay.
absolute,
Sorry,
that
sorry.
was 100%, that was me. I just carried my home on my back and we walked a long way and did stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But you guys are helping everybody, and we were just talking about some of the funding challenges and everything, and you have the big anniversary coming up.
Right,
and
right.
You're going to try to raise some money for that too.
Right. I guess we can't forget that we do have our 45th anniversary raffle, and we have raffle tickets for sale, and we have booklets. There's 6 tickets in a booklet. The booklets are $10, so it's get one ticket for free. So we encourage everybody to help us sell the tickets.
I'm going to take a booklet.
Okay.
I was just patting my pocket. No, I know I have it right there in my bag.
So we're really helping. It's all cash prizes.
Ooh, now you're speaking our language too.
Yeah, the grand prize is $3,000.
$3,000.
Oh my gosh.
$3,000. Baby grand prize $1,500. So here's this is what the ticket looks like. So the sales have been going really well. Actually, Carm is helping me sell my tickets. All my tickets are sold. I had to get some more booklets from one of my coworkers today. So
you guys have my card now, so you have my contact information. Yes. If you could send me the digital file for this so I can get it out there. So this is CareDot's raffle ticket. And man, this drawing is going to be held on May 5th. Where's that going to be?
It's going to be held at the main office in Dandan, yes. Luis talked about, at our green building. And, it's May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've already have our little spinner, and hopefully we're going to make it a fun event. And, spin that wheel and hopefully pull your ticket out.
And we have the CareDot Facebook page.
We have it
for more information.
So it's Monday, May 5th.
Right.
Right. And so you're going to be doing it with the spinner over there.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing it on the Facebook page?
Yes, it's going to be live.
Awesome.
Yeah, these guys, I'm not very technical savvy.
You don't have to be present to win. Your phone number is going to be there, and they're going to announce you on the air through our Facebook page. And that's it, just a phone call for you to come and collect your prize.
Yeah, the only little caveat about that is because they're all cash prizes, we really don't want, you can't put a minor on that, because if you win the big prize, you have to pay tax on it.
Mm.
So just put the adult names on there.
There
Somebody
go.
over 18 or.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Deal. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So these are big things. So it's $2 a ticket, but they're selling booklets of 6 for $10. So you get a free ticket with it, and you got the
There's a whole bunch of prizes. Fifth prize is $100. Fourth prize is $300. Third prize, they're getting more exciting, $500. The second prize is $800. First prize is $1,000. You think it stops there? No. The next one is the baby grand, $1,500, and the grand prize, $3,000. And these are your cash prizes for CareDot. It's their 45th anniversary. You just heard that they're having some challenges with funding, but you know that they do such a great job helping people out in the community. You could win a lot of money, but the money that you spend on the tickets, you know it's going for a good cause, and it's going to help somebody directly. You're going to help somebody else. They got that hungry stomach. You're going to help somebody else pay that bill if they're not able to do it. It's great. Amigo, there you're just saying, is CareDot getting any federal grants? That was a question.
Yes, we have federal grants. All the programs of CareDot are sponsored through federal grants. So we have to write, and they're all competitive grants. So whether we get them through the pass-through grants through CJPA here on island, the Criminal Justice Planning Agency, or directly from the U.S. Department of Justice. So right now, when the Trump administration first came in and everything was kind of a little bit crazy, all of those grants, we already have the contracts for that, so everything is okay. So we're just waiting to see what will happen, with the next go around when we have to write our grants again. All of the grants right now from the Office of Violence Against Women, there's nothing on their website right now, so we're not sure when that will go back up, but they said that it should go back up. That's where we get a lot of our funding from, and the other one is the U.S. Department of Justice.
All right, well, at least this is something that we could do here to help try to bridge some of that gap. And if somebody wants to get tickets.
If somebody wants to get tickets, people have walked into the main office and bought tickets. They can do that. Or they can contact anybody that they know who works for CareDot. They can get tickets. Or they can call or come over to the office and get tickets. We'd be happy to give them tickets.
All of our locations, to include the Google Map, is on the CareDot Facebook page. So they can just message can drop a pin and then have them just come to the office and get the tickets.
All right, so it's going to be pretty easy to do this. Do you guys ever do, while you're out there selling the tickets, is there a location where you guys go up and set up a shop, a table out in front of Joe 10 or something, selling something like that, or any other place? Used to be Catholic.
We've never done that before.
Oh.
Not really.
Usually
Market. Just some of our staff go out and do some outreach. So that's a good idea. We can
do that.
It's not like you don't have your hands full already with everything else.
Have some tickets.
I don't want to give you more ideas that are going to pull you away from your other stuff, but I could see this being a real big thing. I like it at the stores, and then people who want to win money. And it doesn't cost a whole lot. It's only $2 a ticket, right?
Yeah, the chance is great. You have a good chance. You have better odds here than in big cities, right? Because the pool is better, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician.
Set up a table at the Sabaloo Market, and I bet people passing by would jump in. It seems like a no-brainer for me. It's such a great deal, folks. Again, it's $2 a ticket. You can get a booklet of 6 tickets for the price of 5 tickets. It's only $10. You get a bonus ticket. You can win the grand prize of $3,000, but there's a whole bunch of them that you can win. $3,000, $1,500, $1,000, all the way down to $100. And and this drawing is going to be on May 5th, so there's a lot of time between now and the Cinco de Mayo, and someone's going to have the best Cinco de Mayo ever.
For real.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fun, yeah.
Yeah, so please reach out, send that to me, and then I'm going to post it up on our platform and get the word out about you. But
that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then can I buy this one from you?
Give me $10.
I got it.
Right.
All right, so that's the deal. I'm going to set it right here, and then I'm going to get you $10. I know you've got somewhere to be, and you've got to meet with the new bishop.
Yeah.
And I'm heading up to Dan
close to your office over at the school for the proclamation signing for DCCA and DYS.
Child abuse, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So I got to get out of here for that. But before we go, is there anyone you want to say hi to, recognize, or acknowledge?
For me, pretty much just the staff.
Yeah, shout out to
You know,
the
the
great staff.
teamwork there, from the main office to our shelter. The teamwork is unbelievable.
Yes, we have a great team, and I'll give a shout out to the board members who are very supportive on really pushing us to do our best every day. So thank you too. We do have a great team, Team Caradot.
That's great.
Yes.
Eric Moffman is saying, hey, when's the last day to purchase tickets?
May 1st.
May 1st. All right. So you got to get it. You've got 1 month left, 1 month and 1 day left to get your ticket. So hurry up. And the phone number again is 234
6981.
6981. There you go. And they're located on, is it Dan Road? Is that the name of the road?
That's the name of the road. Dan
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I would love to talk more with you guys, but we all have places to go and things to do.
People to see.
Yeah. All right. I want to say thanks to all you guys for tuning in this morning and being a part of the show. Thanks for all the comments getting out there. If you've got any questions about anything that happened today, just send us a direct message or hit us up on the WhatsApp. You got all our info. So thanks for tuning in, Marianas, and I hope this is the start of your best week so far. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.